What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I did want to talk about something here on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown that is similar to the console beta video, but for this one though, I want to talk about something else. Is anybody else concerned for Solar Crown's release date, or at least I guess you could say the launch of it? Now I have to admit right now, guys, I'm not saying every game's going to be terrible when they launch, or that I'm saying Solar Crown is going to have a terrible launch, but can't we all agree to a certain extent that many games nowadays do tend to release basically unfinished, or at least you look at it and go, shouldn't this game take at least one more year, bro? Like, don't y'all think you probably could have waited? A lot of people argue, including myself, that Motorfest was definitely in this category to where they would be able to add more polishing to the game, most likely fixing issues or bugs, like for example right now going on with the playlist being broken. We also had some features in the Crew 2 that were not in Motorfest, which was odd considering Motorfest was obviously the newer game there, which is kind of weird. And then we also did not have a ton of content. Now they're adding stuff into it, but imagine if the game went one more year, that way it would be full of content, less bugs and issues, and pretty much etc. on basically all of it. But that really does tie into something, man. Like, I want Solar Crown to be good, and I know a lot of players are most likely a tad concerned for the launch of it. We all do know a lot of people are talking about the demo and stuff with like the servers having some problems, and I can definitely see that was probably like a server test on the PC side of it, and now we're obviously going to be having a console side of it around 2 to 3 weeks before the game even comes out. Funny thing is, the actual open beta is going to be around a week or so before the game does come out on early access if you buy the gold edition. Now here is a couple of things I have to talk about with this though. Number one, we obviously do know the beta is going to be open to the public for around 3 to 4 days. That is going to be a pretty big thing for everyone to download the game and play it and see if they actually like it. First impressions are honestly pretty important. So if they do jump in there, they're going to play. If they have server issues, they are going to be like, maybe I won't buy this game. I don't like it. Maybe it's not that great. And mind you, the game comes out in legit a week before the open beta. So like, that's pretty dang close, bro. And the crazy part is I legit made a video about this yesterday, which I will leave a tag on the screen if you missed that one, where I did talk about the beta being a tag close to the release date. And I just feel like a lot of players might go, maybe you guys probably should have had the console beta a tad earlier. That way, if there is bugs and stuff in it, at least you can fix it. But as I did mention in that video, if the beta is a bomb, or, there's issues and stuff with the said beta, we all do know a lot of main changes on that, unless it's an early build or something, which is my guess that it is. And the main game is probably going to be different, at least I'm hoping for that anyway. That a lot of players might go, okay, bro, the beta's broken. The actual game is going to be broken on top of it. We all do know right now this is probably going to be fairly valid once again because of one big factor. Many games nowadays, bro, release so broken or unfinished that you play it and you're like, okay, bro, what in the world is going on? For one, you can't even get on the game because the servers are broken, or you actually manage to get onto the game and then boom, the events don't work because they kick you out every time you join one. I guess it is probably going to be a concern at this point with, again, how games do end up launching nowadays, which honestly, guys, I can't really argue that. There's also one more thing I did want to mention in this video, though. I actually made a video about the game having like a battle pass. What do you guys think about Solar Crown having a battle pass going around 90 days for each one? Do you actually like that with the idea of this game having a battle pass? I feel like a lot of players are most likely not going to like that in another racing game, because we all do know what that is most likely going to mean in the end. We're obviously going to have around 90 days of content and then they add some cars to it. We're obviously going to be getting updates here and there, but we all do know it's most likely going to be the live service type of model. That I would say is going to be a very controversial topic. I may touch on that in a different video. Let me know in the comments below if you guys would like to see that one. But again, guys, I really wonder how this game is going to come out. It really does make me a bit concerned because obviously when making this video, we are around less than 2 months away from the game, which is actually probably way less than that, probably like 50 days or something. But either way, guys, it's coming up quick, bro. Like, we're almost to the release of Solar Crown, and I do know everybody is excited, including myself. Like, I can't wait to jump into it. And we also do not have the Motorfest update until November, so that's legit 2 months after Solar Crown, which is honestly just insane to me they're waiting that long to do that update. Okay, but wait a quick second here, though. We all do know the Motorfest update is obviously 2 months after Solar Crown does come out, so what does that mean? Everybody is most likely going to jump on Solar Crown because it's a brand new racing game. They are most likely looking for something new to play, so that's obviously a new racing game. Plus, it is also going to be Test Drive, which really does have to live up to that overall, like the overall image, or even like the overall hype being behind Solar Crown because of the old Test Drive games before where everybody's excited for it, which in return is also going to put even more pressure on the initial release date because everybody's probably like, all right, bro, let's jump into this game. I have high hopes for it. And I would also say these same side players are like, okay, bro, like, take that with a grain of salt. I'm going to be careful. I'm not going to pre order it. I'm going to wait and see how the game does because we know how games release nowadays. So I am most likely going to be a bit more careful and not just jump in there, buy that, and then obviously the entire launch is like botched up or, there's all issues. So let's just wait. I'll buy the game after. Maybe it may go on sale. There is definitely so many ways to look at this. I do find it kind of insane though because I really do feel like Solar Crown is going to be pretty dang hyped up with pretty much nothing else being out around this time besides like the Need for Speed Unbound update, which I'm actually pretty dang excited for because it's mixed in with Hot Pursuit, one of my favorite Need for Speed games ever. And then we also don't have anything in Motorfest until November. So I would say Solar Crown is definitely going to get a big surge of players, even though it is only going to be on PC and next gen, which I hate to say is most likely going to hurt the initial like fan base of it because a lot of players are still on last gen consoles, so they can't even get it. But to be honest, I have to say it, guys, I really do hope the launch for this game is super solid. I would say at this point, everybody's probably also hoping for a solid launch because, kind of needs one. I think every game kind of needs a solid launch. Am I right, everybody? But regardless, though, if we can actually have great server stability, the game doesn't crash and all kinds of stuff, there's not bugs and like weird glitches everywhere. Also, the big thing, guys, I have to admit is I want the game to be optimized on consoles because I'm also a tad concerned on that. Like, we all do know on PC the game was obviously having a lot of issues with optimization, which was probably one of their main testing things with the said demo. Now, the big thing is, though, how is the beta going to run? Like, what if it doesn't run great? We all do know the game itself is most likely going to be similar, unless once again the said beta is going to be an earlier build. I guess there's going to be a ton of things up in the air on this, but it really is hard not to think about this stuff, man. And I really do think that once again stems back to a simple fact that, well, so many games most likely have some hype built behind them, everybody's excited for it, and then once the game actually comes out, everybody does end up getting disappointed, to where every single new game or even a new game is shown, everybody is taking every single new game that's coming out with a grain of salt, which honestly is pretty dang sad, man. But you know what though, who knows, maybe Solar Crown's launch is going to be so dang solid that everybody's perspective changes even if it's just a little bit. I guess the biggest thing here is time is going to tell, which obviously we are getting insanely close by to the release date in around 50 or so days, or it could be less or more if my math ain't mathin'. But either way though, guys, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. And do let me know what are some of your biggest concerns for the Solar Crown launch.